Happy Tuesday evening, May 17, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Tuesday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, we begin with some breaking news. Sketch released of person of interest in shooting deaths of Concord couple. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated connection. That's 1,000...
We have two announcements to make today. The first being that the Concord Regional Crime Line has announced that the reward for information that leads to the arrest or indictment of the person or persons responsible for the murders of Stephen and Jess Wendy Reed has increased to $33,500 based on funds donated from multiple anonymous donors, as well as the Concord Police Patrolmen's Association, the Concord Police Supervisors Association, and the Retired New Hampshire State Police Troopers Association. And that leads directly into the next announcement today, which is that investigators are seeking to identify and speak with the adult male individual depicted in the sketch that was distributed today and that's on the monitor here. This male, who is a person of interest in this investigation, was seen in the vicinity of the shooting on Monday, April 18th, 2022. That area, that vicinity again being the broken ground trails off of Portsmouth Street in Concord, New Hampshire. I will stress that he is a person of interest. That is, he is someone that investigators believe may have information about these crimes as either a witness or a suspect. The individual, as you can see, is described as a white male in his late 20s or early 30s. He's described as being approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall and of medium build and having short brown hair and being clean shaven. He was seen at that time wearing a dark blue jacket, possibly with a hood, khaki-colored pants, and was described as carrying a black backpack. Anyone who has information about the identity or whereabouts of this individual is asked to contact the Concord Police Department or the Concord Regional Crime Line. The Concord Police Department, again, can be reached at 603-225-8600, or tips can be submitted anonymously through the Concord Regional Crime Line at 603-226-3100. Tips can also be submitted online through the crime line at concordregionalcrimeline.com, or you can text message TIP 234 in your message to crimes, which is 274-637. Those tips, again, can remain anonymous. I can now take some limited questions, again, bearing in mind that this remains an active and ongoing investigation, so I'm limited to a large extent in the information I can provide, based both on our ethical rules as well as in order to protect the integrity of the investigation.
So how did you come up with this image? Was it through security cameras, witnesses that were leading from there?
Okay, and there you go on that video from the press conference earlier today. Again, reward for information that leads to an arrest in the Concord murders increased to $33,500. Sketch released of person of interest in the shooting's death of the Concord couple. Investigators say man seen near where couple killed in April. And again, here is that image of that potential person of interest. Again, investigators have released a sketch of a man they're calling a person of interest in the shooting deaths of a Concord couple last month. That is the sketch, as you can see. The man is described as a white male in his late 20s or early 30s, about 5 feet 10 inches tall, with a medium build and short brown hair. He was described as clean-shaven. The Attorney General's office said the man in the sketch was seen in the vicinity of the area where Stephen and Wendy Reed were shot to death on April 18th. Investigators said the man was wearing a dark blue jacket, possibly a hood, khaki-colored pants, and a backpack. It's a description that we are confident enough to bring to your attention, said Senior Assistant Attorney General Jeffrey Ward. The Reeds were last heard from on April 18th when they left their apartment for a walk on the broken ground trails off Portsmouth Street. They were found shot to death 3 days later off the Marsh Loop Trail. A person of interest is someone who police believe have information related to the crimes as either a witness or a suspect, Ward said. Investigators haven't said how they got the man's description or whether they believe the killings were random. They also won't comment on a possible motive, citing the need to protect the integrity of the investigation. At this stage, it's important that there's information that's only known to investigators and to the killer, Ward said. That allows us to consider the credibility and evaluate the credibility of information that comes in and to prevent any witness tampering. A reward of $33,500 is being offered for information that leads to an arrest. Anyone with information should call 603-226-3100. Much of the reward, $20,000, was donated by an anonymous donor who has pledged the funds for only those who come forward with information within the next 60 days. Observantly, we hope that it will be important for anyone who has, or whatever reason, held back at this point to come forward with any information that may have with any information about this individual descriptive in this sketch, Ward said. I think it also shows the community that the police department and my office want this case to be solved. Ward said more than 170 tips have come in about the shootings, and he said many of the tips have been helpful. And we will keep you updated on this story. National Weather Service confirms tornado struck Charlestown. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated connection. That's 1,000 meg.
Crews worked throughout the night in the Charlestown area, clearing roads, repairing the damage, and getting the power back. It was about 6:30 Monday evening when reports of a possible tornado started coming in.
We had severe rain for, I'm going to say, probably 15, 20 minutes. And then it quieted down. And then all hell broke loose.
O'Hearn considers himself lucky, since a tree that came down narrowly missed his garage. But Walter Sombrick had a closer call. A tree struck the bedroom window where his sons were playing video games.
I went upstairs, checked on them, and they were just like in a daze. And I saw a decent-sized little piece of a tree in their bedroom on the floor.
At Amber Coda's house, the winds toppled trees and flattened a utility shed after first moving it about 25 feet. A piece of a tree also punctured the bedroom wall. Amber is glad the storm didn't hit later.
We would have been sleeping, and our youngest daughter, she's only one, she's still in there with us, and it was right above where her bed was.
Despite all the damage, there are no reports of any injuries. While the National Weather Service is investigating whether or not it was a tornado, the fire chief has no doubt.
It was amazing the way you could see it touch down onto the ground, and then it just kind of followed the road. That's what amazed me the most.
Ironically, the Historical Society here in town just did a presentation on disasters to strike Charlestown. Now they have one more to add to the list. Reporting live in Charlestown, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
And we can tell you that the National Weather Service has confirmed tornado struck Charlestown. Officials from the National Weather Service said the tornado was an EF1 on the enhanced fugitive scale, which rates tornadoes based on the severity of damage caused. Officials said it had wind speed of 90 miles per hour. Trial begins for New Hampshire man accused of killing man, ordering wife to behead him. Opening statements were delivered Tuesday in the trial of a man accused of killing a man and ordering his wife to behead him. Armando Barron is charged with first-degree murder in the 2020 death of Jonathan Emerald, 25. Prosecutors alleged that Barron beat his wife Brittany after discovering text message from Emerald, who was her co-worker. Then he used her phone to lure him to a park in Ringe, where he attacked him. Emerald was shot and killed. Before opening statements, jurors were taken to the workplace Emerald and Brittany Barron shared, and also the wooded area in Ringe, where Emerald was killed. The state's opening statement included a series of photographs showing Brittany Barron's black eyes and a diagram of the various injuries that Jonathan Emerald suffered before he died. He made Brittany participate in John's torture, the ultimate display of jealousy, of anger, and of control, said Assistant Attorney General Scott Chase. He ordered Brittany to kill John, and when she wouldn't do it, the defendant ordered her to strangle John, to stand on his throat. The defense, meanwhile, told the jury the wrong person is on trial. The wrong person is on trial for the murder of Jonathan Emerald. Defense attorney Morgan Taggart Hampton said Brittany alone stood on Jonathan Emerald's neck, slashed his wrist, and ultimately shot him multiple times, causing his death. Brittany Barron, who pleaded guilty to 3 counts of falsifying physical evidence and was released on parole in April, is expected to testify against her husband at the trial on Wednesday. In a surprise move before the defense opening statement, Emerald Barron admitted to 2 assault charges and 2 domestic violence charges. Emerald's mother was the first witness called. In gut-wrenching testimony, she told the court that he was her only child. Tractor-trailer driver indicted in New Hampshire State Trooper's death. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated...
Tom J. Paul Medeiros has been indicted on a charge of negligent homicide and reckless conduct with a deadly weapon. Medeiros is accused of driving the tractor-trailer that crashed into a New Hampshire State Police cruiser, killing Staff Sergeant Jesse Sherrill back in October. Court documents say that Medeiros ingested marijuana within a period of at most 3 days and was storing marijuana in the cab of the truck. Sherrill was working a paving detail on I-95 in Portsmouth at the time. He had served his community in law enforcement for 20 years and left behind a wife and 2 kids. Medeiros is set to be arraigned next month, and we are expecting to get more information on this case. Of course, we will keep you updated with the very latest as soon as it comes in. Reporting live in the studio, Monica Hernandez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Stratford house fire called suspicious. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated connection. That's 1,000 megabits.
Tonight, an investigation is underway after a fire destroyed a home in Stratford overnight. Good evening, I'm Monica Hernandez.
And I'm Tom Griffith. That fire started just before 3:30 on Tasker Hill Road. You can see the flames quickly consumed the home and the attached garage. Stratford's fire chief tells News 9 that the fire is considered suspicious, and one person was arrested at the scene and charged with assaulting a police officer. The state fire marshal is helping with that investigation tonight.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. FDA, Abbott agree on plan to reopen plant. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Nothing is impossible.
Cosmic.
Hold on.
The latest on the baby formula shortage. The FDA and Abbott Laboratories have agreed on a plan to reopen one of their facilities, while the agency is also making it easier to import formula. Ariel Reshef has more on the hope for struggling parents out there. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, Robin. Some hope is on the horizon, and for families, resolution to this crisis, as you can imagine, cannot come soon enough. Overnight, the FDA taking those steps to address the shortage, but there are still hurdles, and it could be weeks before the shelves are restocked. This morning, the FDA taking steps to ease the burden for families facing the dire nationwide formula shortage, but cautioning a resolution is still weeks away. Overnight, the agency announcing it is moving to import brands of formula from abroad, currently not sold in the U.S.
We are seeking manufacturers from around the globe who may have available product that could meet our regulatory standards for both nutrition and food safety.
The U.S. normally produces 98% of the infant formula it consumes. Officials say those cans from overseas must undergo safety testing and will need labels with English instructions before they can be distributed. The FDA also laying out a plan with Abbott Nutrition, the largest domestic formula manufacturer, to reopen its critical plant in Michigan. The facility shut down since February after a voluntary recall and inspection by the FDA over safety concerns, dramatically stalling formula supply. Abbott saying it will take 2 weeks to restart operations and up to 2 more months to get its products onto shelves.
The biggest fear that I have is how long is this going to last?
For now, moms like Barbie Van from Oklahoma doing all she can to get her 3-month-old daughter Addison what she needs.
I am trying to exhaust every resource that I can, reaching out to friends and family in other states, asking them to please look at their local stores.
And the FDA not specifying which brands it will seek to import from overseas, only saying we are casting a broad net. The agency assuring any products that do make it to store shelves here in the U.S. will have gone through rigorous safety checks.
That's Robin. Good to know, Ariel. But what will it take for Abbott's key formula plant to be reopened?
So many questions about this, and there are still several steps that need to be taken here. And the agreed-upon plan mandates that the FDA approves every single one of them. The commissioner adding that he doesn't expect delays on the FDA's part unless there's a problem that needs to be dealt with. He also says the inspectors are ready to go here, but as we mentioned, it could still take up to 10 weeks to see those products back on store shelves.
10 weeks. All right, Ariel, thank you. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robert.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for tuning in and watching this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great evening and see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and goodbye.